Sancho Rinpoche Mashi Bano Shejur Sheba Nyamba Meba Don Koni Konda Pera Shos. Okay. When we want to mind on the Dharma, it is very important to generate bodhicitta. And this is the principal Dharma. And then is and also according the compassions. And a little bit to take low profile. And also it's like mentally we do not need to take the low profile. But it's like physically to take a little bit like a humble life, and it's like a more beneficial to the others. And inner is your self-improve, what you have quality, what you have realization, everything is you can to take like a little bit to you have self-confidence, very nice, but according the Dharma, according the compassions, and when we take a little bit kind of low profiles, maybe sentient beings more respect to you, and also sentient beings more happy with you, and also even the whoever connect to you, and like a humble life, or to take a little below profile, and reality is like everybody is make happy. If you look the history of in Tibet, there is many different holy beings, lamas, and the but is for example, we are now follow the first Patrul Rinpoche's step and his book, and how much everybody's respect to him. And because he's take all the times low profile, and he respect to the others, and also it's like he hasn't got much property home, and also it's like clothes, food, everything. But of course, inner his improve, self-improve is very high. In the middle of the learned, if you are like kind of a little bit to questions and answers, that moment, and then you can to manifest. There is what you put question, what you teaching, what you saying things as, but externally a little bit to humble ways. It's wonderful. It is not really kind of the arrogant way. Of course, sometimes we say it's like a little bit like kind of the way of the business knows, business. It's like very much educated. I'm civilizations. I have great education. It's like a little bit to show in the arrogant, proud, and it is we can't. But other one is very much hurting. And it's not necessary. Even your family situations, in your among the family, someone's showing like this is not very pleasant. Then there is such a competition and challenge, and like this. If you a little bit respectfully to others, and to externally to put other ones more high, and then it's other one is like worldly beings are like very much looking this kind of, and even though someone says, oh, you are very good, you are beautiful, you are handsome, but maybe inside it's a truth or not. But in the worldly, if someone's heard like this, yeah, that's good. Someone told me handsome. Handsome or not handsome, beauty or not beauty, we need to look at ourselves to be in the front of the mirror. How am I? But someone say this, maybe is if we are ugly, someone say it's like kind of sarcastic. If you are beauty or handsome, if they say this is truth. And this externally people say something is not really important, And important is like to manage in our own mind. And therefore it's like kind of Dharma on the humble life. Base it your humble life on the thought of the death. Yeah, it's like this is also the truth. And to like mind on the compassion, externally taking the low profile. And then it's like also it's like, yeah, it's today I can to give to others, more respect to others, more be kind to others. And because it's, I don't know, tomorrow when I will disappear. And you know, it's like even in the word, my perfect teacher, many to say in Tibet, Lama says, oh, this master teacher is very good, but very aggressive. And other hand is very good, certainly other hand going down, you know. And aggressive and the good Lama, or aggressive, very good person, is very difficult to say. Oh, very nice, but very much bossy. Oh, very nice, but very arrogant. Oh, very nice, but it's like a snoobist, like kind of. Yeah, it's his or her, it's like very rich, but it's, you know, it's a very much kind of the arrogant way. You know. Then there is kind of, how do you say, it's not really good for us. One hand is like they're dragging down, like a kind of we making damage our own quality. Someone says very learned, very rich, very high positioned, very simple, take all the time, low profile. For example, you most to mated in Dzogchen monastery, there's called the Lama Kadi. He's like a great practitioner, and in all the areas to respect to him as the like almost Dzogchen Rinpoche in these areas. But when he's coming, like kind of during the pujas and to sit in the end of there is, and then it's a little Lama Kadi. If you call the Lama Kadi coming to the, why I need to go to there? You call me Lama, it's very funny. So. But it's like his practice is a wonderful, and when it's like before he died, we can, so it's like, you know, in the front of his hermitage, in the shutter in his retreat place, front there is like small stones, like stairs. Under there's you will to see his food punting, even his sticks sometimes there's naturally occurring. This is the signs of the inner happiness, inner realization, inner compassions. And then his take all the time is like very low profile clothes and very humble, but everybody respect very, very much, love him. He's like the heart of in these areas. And like this, also it's like first pattern, but all in Tibet, 4 schools, they respect to him. And because it's like he's very much humble, life is like this. And then it's maybe he don't need to do like that, but it's externally, it's more happy, it's people. It's truthfully, honestly, to take low profile, to respect to others, and to be together in the best to offer to others like this. And also every day to concern the impermanent, that is the wonderful. And to develop the inner realization, to develop the inner understanding, to develop the compassion each moment. And also when we take the low profile, for example, today it's like maybe you a little bit lost something if you're compassion. Maybe you gift, and you just to take more like a lost part, okay? It's today I'm lost, but maybe tomorrow is you are the winner. And maybe it's like you gift. Maybe other one is to realize that, wow, this is my friend, my family, my sangha, my colleague, wonderful person, and it's like this. And then it's like today is very fast to disappear, and again coming tomorrow is the more nice, more happy. And also it's like one person's to make happy, one being's to make happy, is also is virtue. It is also Dharma. Dharma means it's like need to make happy to others. Dharma means if you're hurting to others, then it's not really Dharma. Absolutely not Dharma. Totally not Dharma. And it's like, therefore, to concerning the impermanent of the death, and to give chance to others, to take the like low, humble, like a low profile, and then it's like inner side, you need to take high. And you can to study, you can to have quality, how it is going to, you can to make the diminish of your disturbing emotion, you understood the really Dharma, and you have some such realizations, and you have improved yourself. You can have yourself evidence. And the wonderful side, externally to showing is not, they're so based on the death, on the empty, barren, hollow cell. Of course, it is like a kind of, this is only the practitioners. I make the joke all the time to say, before I die, if I can do like this, it's a wonderful, disappeared, you know. Even like there's something, you need to go to hospital, someone's, how are you, some family's friend coming to the cry and near your bed. And it's just, if you haven't got, not families, why not? Wonderful, nobody knows, like kind of says, like some yogis, the death or the, like when they want to die, they become like lion, you know. Lion is when they think they're going to die, then they go out in the mouth of the other lions, then they disappear and they go to under some cave, on the tree, they die. Like this kind of is, of course, some practitioners like this. When you have families, of course, you can't do that. And you need to go to hospital to check. If they cry, yeah, I'm getting better, it's okay. I need to cut them out. And this, it doesn't matter, but it's, this is like kind of like this. Jetson Malaripa, he says, you know, when I'm sick, nobody's asked to me, how are you? If this kind of situation, this is the fulfillment, the wish of the fulfillment, my yogis. If it's like, if I'm a die, there's no trade in the cave, it's no like kind of any blood. That is wonderful. If I'm like kind of diet, there's no trade outside my cave, the punting, feet puntings. That is, I'm alone dies here in the cave. That is like a kind of such fulfillment wish. And I mean, it's like this is difficult, but a little bit too concerning to preparing for the impermanent. And also we can to say this person is dead, it's like birds flying. And when it's like birds fly from this own nest, birds hasn't got any attached to the nest. When it's still looking around and fly, and there's nothing to look at the back. Like this is like when someone's great practitioner, Dharma practitioners, they during their life, they done very good things. Then it's impermanent arrive. It's like kind of, looks like birds is flying from the nest. They haven't got any desire attachment to the family, to the position, to any this world. Why you need to have the desire attachment? It's just useless. And you understood, you train your mind to be the ready, and like then it's like looking for your forward in your path, next steps I need to manage. If you something to done to benefit good things for your family, for your friend, for your society, for all the sentient beings, what you done is done. To dedicate, I done. Now it's like a continue, there's desire, attachment, what can you cry, this thing is not very good. But if you've prepared everything for the impermanent, someone is like this. Often to say, there's one guy, he's not, looks like never practiced, but he received the many teachings, and he is like the service of some retreaters. And he's like kind of buying food, bring to them and come back and taking care. Then one day he says, I think now I need to prepare for my impermanence. And then one day he says, next a week and this day I want to depart in this world. And then it's like he hasn't got much, but he offered to give to them. And some friend is laughing. They said, this is, you are my friend. I'm giving you to pray. Can you keep it? Okay, yes. But it's next, like something, this date you are made like a departure times, you are confirming it. But if you're not departure, and then I will give you back. So he's laughing. Okay. And he hasn't got much. Everything's prepared. And then this day, this departure day is coming, and he said, how is today? Today's good. Today I want to become the monks. Oh, he has one of the yellow monastery robe, and otherwise he's not really a monk, and he's just service. He's almost never. And then he reading, and then to sit like this, and unbelievable things. They retreat. And then he make jokes. You have many years recited, make retreat, talking about the meditation, creation, dissolution, like a leap over, cutting through, and everyday recitation. When you are, I think all of you are ready. Surely I'm worse, but even that I can do when I want. I can do God. And then he sit like this. Just immediately disappeared, and he passed away. 1 week is like he sit like this, and then it's like shocked the other retreaters, and sometimes it's like retreaters many years, 10 years, 15 years, when you look at the death process, it's horrible, very sad things sometimes. Maybe what they are practicing in the retreat place, we don't know. And it's like really not to practice, then it's not. In this case, if you seriously be honest and yourself is the truth to prepare to practice the Dharma, then it's not necessarily to in the retreat, solitude, or to be the hermitage place. It's just to any moment you can to practice. And like they said, also we can to look at the other example of the impermanent. Higher is like the stated and the mighty armies never last. There are such powerful, high, rich, and also it's like king, queens, estate, and the mighty armies never is the last. They just a few years, then they disappeared. They lost their own position. They lost like their own belonging. It doesn't matter. The impermanent is attacked to the person or to the royal families. Maybe royal families, they have maybe golden chairs, sleep like bed, and all silicas like a cover of the beds. And every day is eating some fantastic something food. But in the impermanent situation, it's happened and need to leave everything. It's disappeared. And they are never like for the last long, like millions years, they never live without death or without impermanent, no existence. And there is like another to say, the mandatories. The universal king turned the golden wheel that gave him power over 4 continents. And this kind of system in India, sometimes it is saying like this. Maybe it's like very, for example, these days we can to exaggerate it, like united, like kind of the Americans president is really ruler of the almost the world and can to play. And this kind of persons also is like the impermanent arrived, no choice, make joke. Donald Trump taking care, but he's every day he's be in the front of the mirror and his hair is going and he's more, the ring is coming, he's very much scary. Maybe he's not. But it's powerful. It's like millions of people you can to control. This kind of they're like a mandatory. It is a very powerful king, and he's they're like kind of the dissatisfaction, or the like desire, ambitious, and like these are incredible, and the ring over the heavens of the God of the 33 cell. Even the like kind of there's the 33 design realms, God realms, and the most higher, most like kind of God realm. He's almost at the level like this kind of, and the and the Brahmas, it's like the God realms. They're special. He like even shared the throne of the Indus. It is almost unimaginable how he can to share this kind of powerful reach. Maybe it's like exaggerated. And some in there's India, there was a king. It's called the mandatories. And he's like, maybe it's like sitting on the completely golden chairs and thrones. And maybe like looks like kind of palace is like the Indus. And like this God. And could defeated the Asuras. Asuras is the damning gods like the great warriors, and he can to powerful, even that he can to defeat the Asuras army. This kind of the powerful battles. Yet the finally he feel to the each and like earth and died. And it's like this. Then he's like the ambitious, still on like satisfied. His ambitions and his desire is never ever have the like kind of satisfaction, and with his dissatisfaction, and then he passed away. Then it's like when is the passed away? That moment, golden chairs and power force. What is the we can to use? He cannot use nothing. And also you can to see the other things. You can to see for the yourself that of the all those who wield power and authority, whether around kings, lamas, lords, or the government, not a single one can keep his position forever. And this is obviously to see in our own areas. There are some such kings, royals, histories, particularly in our like in the Europes, how much powerful kings, and also in the like in the churches, the how do you call the archbishops. There's the boss of the like kind of in the church. Archbishop is like kind of the owner of the huge lands. And we can to say, if you be in the Vatica's, in the Italy's, and it's our father popes in the areas is such a powerful, and like this, and this kind of is ancient times. How many is a powerful? Everybody is impermanent. They cannot to keep their own position. They cannot to keep their belongings. And you have very much clinging desire and how do you say, attach to your position, your belonging, and your power, your tattered. But when the impermanent arrived, those things where you can to use, useless, absolutely useless, we need to disappear. And the like this, and also it's like even in Tibet we can to see there is also many authorities, and also there is like a great king, lamas, masters. Even that we can to look the holiness, and now it's like he's often to say it's like kind of preparing even the holiness to practice how much every day, and holiness need to ourselves is absolutely, and sometimes he says like, oh, I practice like, I recite the 1 million, maybe it's the mental recitation money. I should to be enlightened man. Sometimes we say it's like, I receive this kind of Mahamudra, I receive this kind of great perfections. I think I should to be enlightened man. Are you sure? I should realize that then maybe I don't need. It's just I'm free. But free or not free, we need to look at our minds. It's very important. Even doesn't matter, lamas also, how many lamas on the past. Also, we already studied some great, these masters, they can to fly, they can to do many different magical, they really have the like kind of the master for the death and life, but they also demonstrated to us the impermanent. And like this kind. Also, there's many lords, governments, all of this kind of are the demonstrated to us the impermanent. To think like this, it's like there's no single ones to keep his position, belonging, tatter, everything's forever. There's no existence in this perspective. Like it's like impermanent. Why I need to something special, title, position, belongings. If I'm not realized my own nature of reality, if I'm not accomplished the Dharma, okay, what is the really for the life? And I need to do something urgently and the quickly. And therefore, to be only in the single-pointedly to think the Dharma. And I say the Dharma is entrance door of the renunciation. Main body of Dharma's compassion. Leg of the Dharma is the view, like meditation. And the view is there's many different view. The view of the Yukentus emptiness, view of the primordial wisdom, view of the like kind of like a creation stage, dissolution stage, cutting through and the leap over. They are kind of the part of the view, the image of the view, and correct your meditation, need to put on it. And also when you meditate on it, its mind can approach to more and more the nature of the mind itself. And this is not the kind of we doing funny things. When we are meditate on those kind of view or those kind of methods, then we more approach, more too close to the nature of the mind. And that is the very necessary. And also there's a different example of the impermanence, that many powerful people who have been imposing the law on other 1 year found themselves spending the next languishing in prisons. And what could such transitory power be to use it? And of course, it's like myself, it's like 100% I'm living in the transitory nature. Transitory is very powerful. It's like really it's changing our life, definitively. If you can to look at some powerful persons, and the last year, these are powerful lawyers, and they like kind of the country law posing to the like to other peoples. You should do like this. You shouldn't do like this. Like this kind of. And last year they say you do like this. You need to go to prison or blah blah blah. But in this year, and the poser itself, doer, the giver of the law, itself sometimes to the prisoner, like the kind of we say is like this is like a kind of poison, or the hurting, or the making like kind of something strange things true in yourself. It is like the breaker, or the like you can just break of your head, and you pick up the stone and you put in the sky. And some like children, they do pick up the stone and then put in the sky, and then they don't know where it's coming. Sky, the stones falling down, bang, and they broke head. Like this, nobody's like this stone like throw out in you, but and you just put a stone in the sky and then fell down on yourself. And like this year some lowers and some is like posing this candle, they're giving. And next year, and the laws coming back, they say, you put this law now in your ears. Now yourself, you need to go to in the prison and say, sorry, why I did, but it's like this. This kind of also transitory nature is impermanence. It's amazing. This is like not we are exaggerating. This is not really, it's like mysterious. This is not, you cannot to say it's not true, it's never happened. And I want to argue with you. Yes or not? Would you like argue? Because I'm a little bit. Yes? Mm-hmm.
I'm very sorry, but I never understood the last sentences of this Kadampas
Quotation.
quotation.
Okay, which one's last one?
The last sentences who said, base your death on an empty, barren hollow. I searched the word in the dictionary, so it's not a problem of the words, it's a problem of understanding. I don't understand these sentences.
Forbearance, this yes, you mean? Aberrant or something they say.
Page 44.
Barren horror.
Base your death on an empty,
This is
barren
like, you know,
hollow.
it's sometimes you argue with Pemakara translation group. They are very much academic. They are very learned. They use to complicate English word. You talk to them. In Tibet, you can to say it's like you thinking about the death is an empty place. Okay? Empty place. There's maybe it's like nobody's there. And I said it's like Malaripa, he says, when I'm dying, I'm in the empty place, nobody's with me. That is, I'm happy here. It's in the Tibetans, they say this, you put your death on emptiness. Empty place. Empty place. But it's they say it's like abundance, hello. But you are English speaker. Why you ask to me? This is a very good question. Thanks, Sonia. And this one's for me is like, I don't know how you can to say, aberrance halu. Aberrance halu. Then I never heard idiom. And you have in French, what do you say? What it says? Desert. Desert. Empty is maybe. No, maybe it's a little bit, maybe desert is quite nice. Total Santa maybe Trokam. Tandal Kogalera. Truth. The total Ni Kato Tromanian Samang, told Sandam. Injecting Yagmok. Troton. Troton means you can't say desert. That's quite nice. Like a very the Jessica Satomo Saji Nino Chesanda. Oria Trambandere Sonsa. Trop says Jessica. Like kind of the maybe this is also the aberrant halu. Halu means it's like horrible area. And halu is Cambo said is emptiness. I never heard. Maybe it is like there is a lot of different cave and wood is horrible trees. When you go in the middle of the trees, they pick up your clothes. And also it's like almost there's no bodies and earth is half is falling down. And this kind of so it is like a very dangerous path and very dangerous areas. Ala. Troton.
Rinpoche, as these are the 4 basic aims of the Kadampas, does that mean that the aim of the Kadampas is just realizing emptiness?
Not just emptiness, nothing. If you haven't got the family, if you are really is like to be the monk, nun, you dedicated to practice the Dharma, and then you need to determined to do it. It is to sit in the city. Maybe you haven't got much job, but you need to communicate. You need to connect. You made arrangement for the friend and talking about the politicians, talking about the countries, blah blah blah. Then it's very difficult to accomplish the Dharma. In this case, it's really you dedicated to practice Dharma, they do like this. Maybe it's you haven't got any family. Maybe it's you a monk or not. It doesn't matter. Someone like this really wanted. Why not to go to the empty place? Maybe it's like to go really, and also to prepare. Just to go run to the empty place is not very good. You need to prepare when you be in the alone, in the solitude place. And that time is you don't need to ask again something. All this recipe, how you can to make delicious food of the Dharma, you know so very well. Every day, how you can to put salt of Dharma, chili of Dharma, and it's like which kind of vegetables, how you tend to cook, how you can to eat, how you can to make the development of your child of the Buddha nature, and you know so very well. Then you need to go to there. Then it's wonderful. Then this 4M is the marvelous, magnificent.
Rinpoche, in the Kadampas tradition, there is that it is told a lot about meditation, and Milarepa, who is representative of this tradition, he came back and make also to society and make beautiful text, songs, poetry. So is this for?
But when he returned back, he's already enlightened. Then you don't need to go to this M. Finished.
So this
before it's like you be enlightenment, then you need go.
Then is it correct to say that these 4 lines are for preparation to enlightenment, and then when enlightenment happens, then you will come back to sentient beings and give...
Yes, you want to become the perfect teacher, language teacher. First time is, please, you need to go to school. Before you are not finished at your university, you become, it's like want to immediately teacher is not yet teacher. Exactly like this. You need to, before be enlightenment, this 4M. So wonderful. Yes? Yes, and other, yes, you have.
It's about the same verse, quotation, about the Kadampas 4 aims, because the last aim, the 3 first aims are more like general for the whole life and relating to the mind. And the last one look like it's just what happens when you are dying. You are just going to a solitary place, just to die alone and be like this. And this is not So it's a bit difficult to understand because the three first are more linked to mind, and the last one is just linked to how you should do when you're dying, how you should behave, and so that's a bit difficult to understand.
Hello. When you at first time you want to your mind to put in Dharma, and Dharma is like kind of the put on the low profile, and then it's like and also it's what you say the third one is, and yes, and the thought of death, and then it's like that means it's like first you completely want to accomplish Dharma, and this put on that, and then it's like and also it's when you make the really serious Dharma, better to take the humble like a low profile, because it's if you in your mind you want to practice Dharma, but it's like wish there is want to become king, queen, rich, powerful person, and this kind of, if you constantly, then it's not really that you are constantly Dharma. And also it's like when you go to there, it's like maybe it's 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 6 years, I should to become enlightenment. Then I will go back, return. When I can to return, then it's not you really want to, maybe it's like there's no determined mind. Until you die, you dedicated. And surely maybe I'm dying in the solitude place until I'm become enlightenment. And before I'm die, I'm like not be enlightenment. My death is in the solitude place. And this is concerning. And also it's like when you like kind of in thinking about in the solitude, and then it's like maybe when I become sick, maybe better to have some service, maybe in the hospital, and maybe it's before I'm going to die, maybe I need to go back. And this is a little bit I'm sick, I need to go back. Then there's no determined mind. And in this case, it's like, of course, if you say, when you say, oh, now I need to die, look, it's like at home, okay, now I'm die. Maybe I have sickness. Oh, this Dharma, this Kadampas M. Now I need to run away to some empty place. This is not correct. Absolutely not correct. That is a process. It's like you really determined you want to practice the Dharma. And then it's like you go to in the cave. It's like you are in the sitting cave. And like next, until I might like be the enlightenment, I don't want to move. I would to die here. So why not? It's this empty place. Nobody's to see me. It's good. Why not? If you really too dedicated, if you cannot dedicate it, then there is, maybe I can to enlightenment, then I need to return back. This is the hope. This is the obstacle. This is the hindrance. Many like Dharma practitioners, they practice, maybe today I become Buddha, maybe I will tomorrow, maybe next month. Then this expectation is obstacle. Expectation is obscuration. Expectation is the disturbing emotion. Expectation is like this. Then it's also we need to diminish expectation. I think like this. Other questions?
Comment, parfois, si on est un peu dualiste avec les attentes, comment peut-on diminuer les attentes sur l'éveil, par exemple? Surtout.
If we have this dualistic mind of having expectations for awakening, enlightenment, how can we diminish that?
Therefore, we are studying Dharma. Because if there's no dualistic mind, then we don't need to study Dharma. We are enlightenment. Now we have such dualistic mind, expectations, wish, desire, attachment, and these things. Then it's a also dualistic perspective. Right thinking, right is wrong, wrong is right. Impermanent, thinking permanent, and positive things, thinking negative, negative things positive. And therefore, according that, we are learning. According that, learning. And maybe we can to learn more Dharma. And maybe it's like finally, probably we can to have without clinging expectations. And it's like this. And also, it's a next paragraph says it's like this: the state of the perfect Buddhahood. That is our goal. That is the wish. And that is we wanted, the state of the perfect Buddhahood, not the kind of the Buddhahood, not the kind of artificial Buddhahood, perfect Buddhahood. And on the other hand, can never diminish or the spoiled, and is the worthy of the offering of the God and man. That is what you should be determined to attain. And like kind of in the God realms. And also it's like in the human societies. In this world, which is like a kind of the worthy, which is really like kind of worthy of the respect offerings. That is the like kind of the Buddhahood. And also it's like it's like we need kind of determined minds, and like a kind of the definition or the spoiled, and never kind of spoiled, never kind of diminish, like the practice or the to be in enlightenment. And we have the determined mind, and we have a kind of commitment. And I want to be in the state of the perfect Buddhahood. That is the worthy, that is the beneficial, that is the really good position, that is the good attainment. This is the best attainment in the God realms. This is the best attainment in the human societies. And that is the best worthy in this world, worthy offering in this world. This is the state of the perfect Buddhahood. And that is like a kind of we need to concern. And also it's like ourselves. Sometimes we say, I'm not a monk. I'm not nun, I'm not really, it's like a monastery, and I have my family, I have job, I'm living in this world, how I can to be like a to perfect Buddhahood. This is absolutely incorrect way of the thinkings. We are not really too serious to practice dharmas. If you really to practice dharmas, we can to practice with our families, and with our societies, with our jobs. It's absolutely, and also to make the accomplishment, to be attainment of the Buddhahood. It is difficult to one instantaneously to be enlightenment. That is like we need to fathom ourselves, we need to analyze ourselves. And in this kind of like great, sharp, faithful, truth, like kind of truthy and devotionate. And this kind of person is the very rare. And our dualistic, as the Gekku says, the dualistic, we have the dualistic. In this perspective, there is a little bit process. And it's like progressively to the. Then it's like, there's one text saying, if you can do here is like a huge constraint, If maybe there's not much water, but it's a little bit leaking on the ceiling, and you put under there's a big huge container. This leak is like slowly, month by month, one day is completely full. And even the big container like this. And like this, every day is like to concern a little bit what you learn, Dharma, Dharma. Meditate like kind of generating bodhicitta, and also it's like there's a perfect leg of the view, what you have repeating instructions. And this one is in the your like doing things. And maybe it's like when we are lay person to normal person, not very much expectations. I want to become Lama, I want to become the teacher, I want to become very famous in the futures. And I want to take care of my family, I take care of my job. And beside that is my like kind of the aim and goal is I want to practice every day 2 says. And also it's like Buddha's sayings, all our appearances like a rainbow, like a kind of the hallucination, like kind of the dreams. It's really truth. If you a little bit too concerning that, how much is the benefit into your mind? To that, where am I? What am I doing? It is really truth or not truth. This is the relative. Then it's like mind is more and more to approach into the. And this is like kind of you are collecting small things. And then slowly, day by day, month by month, year, and your mind is there's a quality is the full. Like kind of when we are learning the language. And sometimes, when we hurry up and want to know everything one day, we don't understand, then they're desperate. Once I was completely desperate to learn the English. And I called to the Shyaji I'm a normal like this. I think I never ever speak English. I don't want to start anymore. I want to drop. And he says, very stupid guy, continue, I think you will speak. And also it's like one is a black lady. It's a wonderful, I thought it's giving me kind of strength. I went in the French school. In the French, my school, there is like 20 students. And worse is me. Every day I need to say bonjour, that's all. And he is also, it's comme ça. And then it's one day we met in the metro station or something. And we are going. She speaks perfect English, of course. And say, yes, let's go. But I'm now fed up. Really, I can't learn. Stupid guy, come, let's go there. Maybe if we cannot to learn one day's lot, but today we can to learn bonjour, comment ça va? Bonjour, comment ça va? Tomorrow we can to say the bon appétit. 2 days we can to learn 2 words. 1 month we can to learn 30 words. Then we can to communicate. Come, don't give up. Said, wow, wonderful lady. I said, yes, I will come with you. It's like this kind of, it's a truth. It's like sometimes like we need to do something step by step, slowly like this. One day we need to become enlightenment. It's impossible. There's a very difficult. And one day to give up all the families, go to solitude. This is also impossible. In this case, to put the progress, like kind of program, like task. And one my teacher to say is, in our life, your life, there's many tasks, lot of pile of your task. But first, your Dharma task to put on the top of there. When you come in your office, which task said first is Dharma? You look, you reminded that in your mind, like kind of this, your most important task is Dharmas. Okay, then you can do other things, but this one already we put it into our mind, reminded, like alarm clock. And then each moment you remember. This is very important. Like this, for Jogo Kadambas, this like 4 M's, immediately to do this. Maybe, for example, like something is like me, myself, is I have a wife, children, families, and I see yesterday make jokes, my young brothers, old brothers. It's one day, it's like kind of too possible to do like this kind of, but I have all the time clinging in this word, and it's very difficult. This kind of lonely persons to do it, why not? Anyway, it's like the end to need to die. And you do like this, finally some is like a point you to cut this world, wonderful, why not? And no necessary in the, you go to in the, as the Sonia say, go to the in the solitude place. When you are enlightenment, then don't sit there. Kadampas 4 M's, finish it. Please come back to teach Dharma. We can do it. But before we can to teach Dharma, we need to drink coffee and coffee. Tea.